Namaste, this is Gaia Mother Sophia, incarnation of Kuan Yin, female Christ, Mary, and Goddess Isis. This is the first time that you've seen me like this. For those who have been watching the channel, and probably wondering why I now have gone back. I don't like the word going back to makeup and dressing normally, if there's an ever normal way to dress. It's all got to do with the ceremony that I did on the 18th now. Bear in mind, for a year and a half, I haven't had any sort of feelings towards the opposite sex. But in a ceremony, it was revealed to me, two people who were at the ceremony. One was my husband from a past life, and my soul woke up and remembered all the love that I had for my husband. And it threw me, not at the time, because I was so honest with my feelings under meditation and under sacred ceremony, that I just had to hold him and be next to him because I knew who he was. And it changed everything for me, because all of a sudden I had feelings towards a man, and not just any man. It wasn't like now I'm going out and I'm running rampant on the streets, because I know his soul and his soul knows me. And that changed everything. And then I was getting messages at nighttime, I was told that I had to be the mother, I had to be the cosmic mother, I had to be everything. So I was going through a lot in my mind, wondering what everything is, and all my past lives have woken up. I've been an actress, a writer, a producer, a director, a healer, all of these things. And now I was being told by the angels, the conscious realm, divine messages telling me I had to be everything. So I just allowed myself to be what I was supposed to be and am supposed to be on a daily basis, not planning anything, just letting it happen and let it evolve. And what this is teaching me about being a quantum human being and coming into a multidimensional existence is that we have been trained incorrectly. We've been trained into a three-dimensional realm. We've been trained into a one-dimensional life, a three-dimensional life, but one track. It's like there's been like this mind control that's come over our lives since we were children, stamping us with what we should be. This is your name, your religion, your job. Even you go to school and you learn what you're supposed to do for the rest of your life, and it's almost poo-pooed upon if you have different talents or skills. It's like, are you an actress or a singer or a healer? What are you? We have to wonder why society is telling us this. Why are we not told you can be everything? Be everything. Be a dancer, be a singer, be a businesswoman, be whatever you want, because you're capable of many, many things. When you yourself come into a quantum lifestyle, you will wake up to all of your past lives. And when your past lives wake up, understand that you are a body which houses a soul. When your past lives wake up and your soul is everything that you've ever been right now, just listen to that again. Everything that you've ever been right now in all your past lives is here. So you think that this life that you're born in, that's who you are, because you've been stuck in a box. This is who you are. My name is Sophia. Hi, I'm an actress. Bang. And to a degree, you fulfill that role because others then start to have expectations of what you're supposed to look like. In the same way that when I was a nun, I didn't call myself a nun, but that was labeled to me. Everybody had expectations of what I am supposed to be. And then I started to wear makeup slowly and started to dress in a normal way. Excuse the word normal. And then people said, well, you're supposed to be a nun. This is wrong. What are you doing? Well, I still am. What's a nun? What makes a nun her outfit? At the time, I was living my truth 100%. I was celibate. I had no feelings towards men. I gave up everything that I associated myself with in this lifetime. my job, my everything. Everything changed. I announced to the world that I wasn't going to act again. Everything. Because that was my truth. And today's truth right now is that I'm in a hotel room waiting to promote a movie, as well as doing my healing course, as well as seeing people for healings here. Right now, I'm talking to you. This is my life right now. Without definition, because there's no one here to tell me how to speak, how to dress, what to do. See, you are multi-talented, infinite, ever expanding. You just keep growing and evolving. You're supposed to. But you've been quite cleverly programmed into not growing. And how do you get programmed into not growing? Well, you get programmed to be told you are one thing. You know, when people plant plants and they want them to grow a particular way, and that plant will go exactly the way you train it to go, and it forms a pretty shape. But if you left it in the wild, instead of going up a particular path, it will just go everywhere. So go and be everything. Now, the only way you can also be everything is to lose fear and judgment, and to feel and love everything that you do. See, when you keep doing the things that you don't do that cause you stress and worry and fear and judgment that you give to yourself and others, it stops you entering your quantum existence. But we've been trained not to feel, haven't we? I'm going to get hurt. I can't possibly use the word love, or I can't be passionate about something. You know, it's almost like people have become switched off from their feelings, and it's all practical, left brain, you know. Make money, be successful. You are someone if you have money. You are someone if you have a nice car. And you know, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with nice cars, nice watches, nice homes. I have those things. But when they are your definition of who you are and your value, that's where the definition is wrong. Nice things, material things are nice to be there, you know. I like my car and I love my home, but it's not there to define me. And my home is also used for healings. And have you ever asked the question who you really are and what do you really feel? Or have you been way too busy to even go there? I'm asking you to go there. I'm asking you to feel. I'm asking you to love and open your hearts to ever expanding, infinite possibilities. They're not coming to you because you have a set path. Like that ivy that grows up a trellis and has to go a particular way. We'll tear down the trellis. Don't restrict yourself in your emotions and your love. Because you fear being hurt. I know a lot of people who don't do the things that they love, or love the people that they want to love, or tell them because they're fearing hurt. And then sometimes people are scared to hear these things from other people because they then think that person's mad or crazy, or they can't possibly love me and I can't possibly love that thing, because if I love it too much, it's going to hurt me. But when you get to that point of oh my God, I love this so much, or I love him or her so much that I have to stop now. I had a friend who was talking about this guy who she really, really liked, and she said like, I'm sure it's love. And she then at that point blocked him on WhatsApp, and deleted his number so that she didn't have to deal with her own feelings. Now, if she just allowed that love, and I did this yesterday with somebody, if you just allow that love, instead of getting to that gateway, whoa, I'm feeling too much, stop. If you just go, actually, let me feel, and open that gate, and let that feeling of love that you feel for whoever, whatever, yourself, let it go, and you float. And then you just go somewhere else. Instead of stopping the gates on, this is going to hurt, I can't do it, open the doors and let the energy flow into love, into what you want, into who you really are. And who you really are is love. And when you start floating, it's happened to me yesterday. I was floating. I was on the phone to someone and I was floating. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, I'm actually floating. I came out of my body, and my whole body was just like, I felt like I was floating, and this whole energy was buzzing around my whole body. And I entered the world of infinite, ever expanding love. And that's in you. It's already in you. Don't be afraid to feel, because through feeling comes manifestation of everything. We're so busy trying to make something of ourselves, trying to prove ourselves to others. It's your life. It's nothing to do with anyone else. I help other people in my work. And I stopped my work at a time when things are going really well. Because what was important to me was what was happening with me. And I was living my truth as I am today, as in this whole change. I don't call it a change, it's an evolution. Evolve, expand. And that can only be done through feeling. Manifestation and abundance. People think abundance is about money. Real abundance is about love. What do you want to manifest? You've seen all these speakers. What do you want to manifest in your life? Do you want a car, a great house, a great wife? Well, you can do that. Well, you can. It's got to start with love. Open your heart and start to feel. Instead of, you know what happens, whether it's a business thing, whether it's a work thing, whether it's a relationship thing, you get to a point where you're like, oh, this isn't going to work. And in a relationship, oh, is she being unfaithful? Is she this? Is she that? Is he this? Is he that? And they've done nothing wrong. So keep on that good feeling of that person, how you feel when you're with them. Don't make these things up. Monkey brain coming in. Like this chitter chatter going on that doesn't exist. But it's just the training of a negative mindset, which has been programmed to us for thousands of years. Even with the TV programs we watch. But I don't watch TV. But why are people lonely and looking for love? There's so many people that are looking for love. How many dating agencies are there, you know? People aren't happy. We're coming into joy. We need to talk about sex. Sex has become a sport, something you enjoy doing. Before I was awakened, I probably had sex once where there was a lot of feeling, and then I was afraid to tell him how I felt, but it took me somewhere else. And I was making it physical because that's all I knew. People just know physical sex. Those who are blessed to have found their twin flame and have sacred sex. Sacred sex is very different to physical sex. People just have physical sex where it's just, oh, it's like going to the gym, oh, that was good. Okay, I've got to go to work, whatever it is. But when you can really feel during the act of making love, you do open yourself up to higher vibrations, because the orgasm is a very, very sacred energy. And if you allow that to flow up your chakras and past your chakras up to the 5 more chakras that are above your head, it can take you to different levels. The orgasm energy is also very healing. It's also coded. See, when the energy of 2 people come together in the act of lovemaking with real feeling, where people can really feel and love, breathe the other person in, feel the other person in, it can take you somewhere else. It expands you, it evolves you. It's that orgasm energy which is all powerful if there's feeling in the act of making love, if there's trust and surrender in the act of making love. Otherwise, you're just giving away a very powerful energy. Yeah, you might enjoy yourself at the time, but you're also taking a part of that other person's energy with you, and you give away your energy, so be careful of where your energy goes. And when you are in a situation, a relationship where there is a sacred flow of this energy, this sexual energy, it really takes you into your light body and ascends you, part of the ascension. And so many people these days, as I said, it's an actor, it's a sport, it makes them feel good, it's done under the influence of alcohol, whatever it is. Don't forget that connection, that feeling. Because if you become a non-feeling person during the act of love, your vibrations stay low, you cannot evolve or expand. You stay in the lower chakras. And then everything becomes physical. It's all about the physical and the material, and that's the realm that you stay in and exist in. You stay in the dense levels instead of becoming a quantum being now. The beautiful thing is that we are all born quantum. See, yes, we are in a 3-dimensional world due to Newtonian law. And Newtonian law states that anything above 1,000th of an inch in weight falls under the gravitational field under Newtonian law. But let me tell you something, your neurons in your body, they fire off electricity, and that's how everything moves and works in your body. But there is a gap between one neuron to another, and that's called the synapse. And this electricity shoots across from one neuron to the other. There's lots of them firing off, and one might make it across. Who knows where the others go and what they're creating. But that gap is just under 1,000th of an inch. Quantum. How many of these do you have in your body? So you were born quantum. You just were made to think that you weren't. Yes, it's an evolution because we were trained to de-evolve ourselves into a state of one thinking, into this mind control, which has kept us like sheep doing what everybody else does. There are no definitions to who you are and what you can do. Yeah, I'm a nun. I'm also not a nun. How is that possible? In this quantum world and in my rules, it's possible. What are your rules? Live your truth. You don't even need to make a set of rules. Just be in every given moment, because your reality only ever exists in the now. Your reality only ever exists in the now. Oh, and when you are in the now, and what you feel is pure bliss. You know, I have so much of it. I just want to share it with everybody all the time, you know. And when that's in union with somebody, whoo, magic, like fireworks. So be the bliss that you are. You are ecstatic. You are that joy, that love, that ecstasy. Just let go. Let go of what you think you're supposed to be. Your titles, your names. And just let everything flow. See, there's water in this bottle and it's in a container. And this water, if I take it out and pour it into another container, the water becomes the shape of the container. If I pour it into the ocean, it becomes the ocean. And most human beings we are water, you know that, right? Most of us contain that water in a particular shape. This is my life in this bottle. I'm telling you to open it up. Open up this container that you think you are. Be water. Be everything, because that's what you are. But do it with feeling and love. We live in wonderful, wonderful times. There is no more death, because you're a soul. And soul families are coming together. It's the time to know and love each other, and to know the truth of who you really are. So keep clear of definitions. Open the doors so that your soul may be free to expand in infinite awareness and love. I'm sending you all my blessings. And I just want to give you all a big hug, because we are amazing. All of us are just amazing. Amazing. Like you really are. Namaste.